So my memory of Stephen and Chris Henry was when we had those 50 people, all those people come out there, and we were tearing it up. We were mowing, we were cleaning the bushes, but we were also going to repaint, kind of clean up the outside of his house. And Stephen was scraping up by the roof without a ladder. And I got some good pictures of you back then, but Stephen is so faithful and such a great servant, and always coming out to help us. But I'm so thankful he's tall.
Yes.
And we only had so many ladders, you know. We were hanging Christmas lights, we were doing all that. But Stephen didn't even need a ladder. He was up there scraping and doing different things, and I just appreciate your servant's heart and the way you're always pouring out. And you made a difference with Chris Henry, and we appreciate you.
Appreciate it. It was my first project there, and it was really, you know, like you're talking about teamwork and getting together for a reason, and really a lot of camaraderie. It came from that, and for me, you know, so that really was benefited me a lot.
That's awesome. That's good. We appreciate
great.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Laura, you opened up your house for Chris Henry on Thanksgiving. And one of the things I love about Laura is the way she just loves people. You know, it's even beyond service. She just goes above and beyond and loves people. And so Thanksgiving a year ago, she opened up her home to a number of people that had been flooded, that didn't have anybody, that were struggling, and Chris Henry was impacted by that. And I love, because she loves birds, they sat there the whole night on Thanksgiving. He was talking about Susie, talking about the
Did y'all
birds
eat
and all
bird while y'all was
Yeah.
talking about the birds?
That would have been wrong. So recently, we went out to help the Montoya family, and I brought Laura by mistake to help with their house. I didn't know that when we got there were going to be 40 chicks.
Oh, wow.
That's right.
Not
I
girls,
saw
chickens, like little baby chicks.
Wow.
And it had turned cold. We had that big storm Friday night. Saturday morning, several of them had died.
Oh.
And Laura takes them, these little chicks, inside and starts giving them mouth to mouth.
Oh.
And she revived two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's doing little compressions and this kind of thing. And guess what? I end up with, by then, 36 chicks in our house.
Y'all still have them?
No, we took them back. So the girl was not in her house at the time, and we've now restored them into their house. But we didn't want the chicks to die.
Right.
And so that's Laura's heart. She just took them in, and she did the same thing with Chris Henry. And if we hadn't have been on our honeymoon, Chris Henry would have been over for Thanksgiving this year.
Yeah.
And but I just love that and appreciate that about
That's
your
great.
heart. But you were good to Chris.
Yes.
And she's thankful because now we have 4 birds.
Yeah. So look at that. They're like loving each other.
Stephen, get
Look at that.
show the
Look at
birds
them.
if you haven't already.
They're kissing each other.
And the gray
They're
one,
like-
the gray one is
With white.
now named Chris Henry.
Which one's?
So
These two over there.
he knows we're talking about him because he
The one-
keeps
yeah.
pooping. There you go. He knows you're trying to film him.
Yeah.
He's like Laura. He's like trying to avoid him. Isn't that good? But
you
they're
happy?
so awesome.
Yes.
I find it soothing. Like when I came in to this room, and I saw those birds, I felt soothing. You know, like a
Yeah.
soothing feeling.
Yeah. Well, that's why I wanted to do kind of a remember service celebration of his life here, because the birds were so important part of his life.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, this is become, you know, our main room.
Sanctuary. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's how I
Laura,
felt when I walked in.
Laura and I do devotional time in here in the morning. We have our coffee and the birds sing.
Yeah,
And
that's nice.
we get to remember Chris Henry every day because I talk to Chris Henry.
Yeah.
And, you know, so he'll be remembered. And this
Yeah.
is a neat part of that. So
It
thank
is.
you all so much for getting together.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody has any final words, anything you'd like to say, but I just, and we've got some food and y'all can hang out a little bit, but we just wanted to take time to do what we did today, and that is remember Chris Henry, remember his life. I'm so thankful in so many ways to get to know him, because I feel like he gave us an opportunity to be better people.
That's right.
And
That's
there's
right.
nothing better than serving others, and a lot of us are connected in new ways now because of opportunities like this to serve others, and
Yes.
and we just are thankful for you guys and those that couldn't be here today as well, because I know so many people helped.
Yeah, there was,
Yeah.
with
that's my
that.
thought is I don't know, probably 100 people, the Georgettes and the Juan Oteros
Yeah,
and his crew. He brought so many people to do the plumbing and.
well, and I invited Mighty Mike, the plumber. He did over $2,000 worth of plumbing at no cost to Chris
Wow.
Henry, and
That's a
his sewer line was so clogged up, he had to replace it all the
It
way
was
to the
collapsed,
edge
yeah.
of the property, and he just dug out there, made it
By
happen.
hand, he
Yeah,
got that out.
it was amazing. And so thankful for that, because that was just another huge dynamic. His bathroom wasn't working, you know, so now he could use the restroom and have that again as well. Juan donated carpet, and so it flooded, but until it flooded, he had for a year, he had new carpet in there, and so Juan was very generous in that, like he always is as
It was
well.
neat
He's a good
watching it
guy.
come together when we need sheetrock people, and all of a sudden sheetrock experts would show up. We
Yeah.
need plumbing, and plumbers would show up.
Yeah.
We need somebody to work on cars, and
Mm-hmm.
the car man shows
Yeah,
up. You
right.
know.
Yeah, God provides what you need, and I think one other person I'd acknowledge is Ray Vara. He brought the young adults out, his life
That's
group,
right.
and they strung the Christmas lights. I think they even purchased the Christmas lights and
Yeah.
did all that, and so we could always count on the young adults, all you guys. It's really gave fuel to Men's Brigade and took it to another level, so that we were ready and prepared when Hurricane Harvey came. So, but anyway, thank you all so much for being here, and thank you for the memories.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right.